What's going on, guys? Stribbers here, and welcome to another episode of PGR2 Road to Platinum. We're up to episode 29 now, and we are just over halfway in the Grand Touring Series. And we've got a few events to do today, a couple one-on-ones, an overtake and a hot lap. And as you can tell by the length of this video, these events are quite short, mainly due to the fact we haven't got a street race in these events. And the one-on-ones are usually shorter with fewer laps. So, jumping into a one-on-one for the first race, we're using the Ferrari 550 Barchetta, which is also the car we're against in the one-on-one. You can use the 575 Maranello as well. I don't think the Mercedes is a great idea to try and beat this car, just because this car's quicker in a straight line, so make things a little bit harder. But coming up to the first corner, you can cut on the inside of him, because we were in his draft zone, able to catch him up. We can make that move on the inside there, and then block his path coming round the corner. So we're able just to slingshot past him round the first corner, nicely into the lead, which you want to do because obviously there's only one lap on this track, so there is minimal opportunity to overtake. So the track does run out before you think, and you don't want to be behind him for too long. There's not that many good places to overtake on this track really, without causing you both to crash. Coming through this slalom section, need to ease off the accelerator a little bit through there. And these couple corners, take close to the apex, use the width on the way out. And we're still ahead of him, still got that 1 second lead which we had since the first corner. Through here, most cars I've driven you can fly through there, only easing off slightly, but you do need to brake with this car, due to the fact that it is quite quick and does understeer a little bit, so it's not the easiest to get through that corner. And that last corner there, the AI did a lot quicker than me, so he's right on my tail, but we've only got a couple small corners on the straight to go before the finish, and we did that a lot quicker than him, so across the line in first place, not a problem at all. 900 kudos for the in-game kudos, and nearly 6,000, 5,900, so that's good. First one-on-one down. Jumping into an overtake for the second event in Barcelona. Probably a wise idea to use the Ferrari 575, although I do think it's possible with the other Ferrari we've just used and the Mercedes as well. This isn't too difficult, and overtake this one. So you can use any car you like really. I recommend one of the three fastest ones. I don't know if the Testarossa would be able to do this, but you're welcome to try. So in Barcelona, overtaking the first car before the first corner there, and this car does handle quite a bit better than the 550 actually. It just doesn't have that understeer factor, which makes it harder through corners, and this makes it a lot easier to drive around these tight corners, and you can drive faster through there. So that Cadillac getting in the way a little bit, I think that was the Cadillac anyway, and we just had to take him on the inside there, pushing out the way a little bit. So 3 cars, minute 15 nearly to go. Behind the Audi RS6, can't overtake him on this slalom section without crashing, so choosing to go up the inside around that corner, which was a better opportunity. Behind this Porsche, which we're able to overtake on the straight there. And this section is a little bit difficult to do actually. You've really got to slalom right, left, then right, making sure not to go too wide, so you're not too far away from the apex, and also not too close that you'll either go on 2 wheels or crash into the barrier. So that's quite hard to judge that one. And coming behind this Porsche, classic Porsche there. Can't overtake him around this corner. And then so we're looking up the inside after that corner's finished, and we had 30 seconds left, so that was very comfortable. Skipping it to the end for you, and there we go. So there was quite a big distance when that timer finished between me and that Porsche, so judging by that you can use probably most of the cars in this class to do that one. Then we jump into a hot lap straight after that event we've just done. And any events such as hot laps and timed runs are always designed to be used by the fastest car, basically. So you have to use the fastest car to do it. it gives you the best chance because they are always very close. So most of the time, I'd say 90% of the time, you are going to have to use the fastest car for the hot laps and the timed runs. So coming into the sweeping right hand corner before this long straight. 1 minute 2 seconds was the target. Hot laps obviously just the 1 lap. Timed run can be as many laps as the race states. We're coming to a little bit of a difficult section here. That bit's not too bad, but then we come up to this sort of corner with this little shallow sticky outy barrier bit there, and that can be quite hard to navigate. So you're best to stick as close as you can to the barrier on the inside there. We've got the sweeping left hand corner that you want to hit the apex coming into the corner, sweeping out, then hit the apex going back into the corner, round the final corner, coming up to the finish. I think that was 1 minute and then 1.2 seconds, which we'll have a look in a second. 1.3 seconds. So we passed by over half a second, which I'd say in any sort of hot lap or timed run is fairly comfortable. So that one wasn't too bad. I think it took me about 3 attempts just to learn the track and then put in a good lap. But when you're driving this Ferrari, it does make it a lot easier. It's a very good car to drive. So we've got the last event for this episode, which is a one-on-one. And I really do suggest using this Ferrari for this event, as we are up against the same Ferrari on a very small track. So you need to get every inch of speed you can, really, just to edge past him, which I managed to do on the first corner actually, as they go very wide there, which is good for bringing your speed back through the corner. So you'd have a higher top speed coming out of the corner, but me going on the inside actually minimises the distance, which means I do go ahead of him even though he's going faster on the way out. So this is probably the best corner to overtake him on. As you see on that previous corner, he did actually re-overtake me. Looking at the outside, but that's not going to happen around that part. So I really just have to stick behind him until we get to that long sweeping right hand corner again, because there's really not many places to overtake, which is why you need the speed of this car, because if you're in any other car you might not have enough speed to do it. So yeah, try and go for the same move and we do it again. So that's where you're going to overtake the car, and you can just defend from here, sticking close to that barrier, whipping the car out wide here to try and flick the car inside to the apex, following the apex around here before we go on to the start line again. 4 out of 5 laps, so really having to hold him off from that corner. But I think they do that corner way slower than I do through there. So the wider you go on there, I think the slower you do go. Coming into the final corner for the 4th lap, so he's nearly a second behind now, so we are just about edging ahead each lap. And this is the corner. Very nicely through there, and actually ruining the whole race by crashing into 2 barriers and then a 3rd barrier. It's always on the last lap, as we found, that I just crash into the barriers. It's usually the last corner actually, so I was surprised that it wasn't. So the clean race is gone, but we do stay ahead despite me crashing to win a platinum medal for that. 1,400 kudos for quite a small race actually, so that's not too bad at all. 6,400 all together. And that will be the end of this episode, guys. Very short episode, but that leads us on to the next episode, where there is 2 street races and the speed camera to finish the Grand Touring series. So that'll be a little bit of a longer episode because there's a couple street races, and then we'll be doing the first event in the next series that we do unlock. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, guys. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe if you're new for more content, and I'll see you next time.